Hello, welcome to yoga. My name is Kirsten. Let's go ahead and start seated. So come to a comfortable seat, legs crossed if that works for you, or sitting back on the heels. Allow the eyes to start to close or soften the gaze, looking down past the nose. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. Allow the crown of the head to grow tall toward the ceiling. Lengthening the back of the neck. Lengthening the spine. Bring attention to the breath. So notice the inhale and the exhale. Noticing the air filling up the lungs, the chest expanding, and then contracting on the exhale. Notice the air filling up the belly or the belly expanding with each inhale and falling with each exhale. Softening the muscles of the face. Soften the jaw. Releasing tension. Preparing for practice. Good. Now take a nice deep inhale through the nose. And exhale through the nose. Inhale through the nose. And on the exhale, allow the eyes to flutter open. Good. Inhale, looking slightly up. And exhale, drop the chin to the chest. And hold. Stretching the back of the neck. Keep breathing. Good. Looking back up toward the ceiling. And drop the chin to the chest. Good. Roll the left ear over to the left shoulder. And keeping the ear to the shoulder, turn the head like you're looking down toward the floor. Look forward again. And then look up toward the ceiling. And forward. And gently roll the chin back to the chest center. Pause. Good. Rolling the right ear over to the right shoulder. And turn the head to look down at the floor. And looking up toward the ceiling. Back to forward. And rolling the chin back to the chest, back to center. Pause. And come back up to neutral, looking straight forward. Good. Drop the left hand to the mat. Bring the right arm all the way up and over. Side stretch. Good. Now walking the hands forward along the floor, bow the head down toward the toes. Walk the hands up, back up to a seat, and twist gently over the right knee, looking over the right shoulder. And come back to face forward. Switch your feet, so put the opposite one in front. Drop the right hand to the floor, left arm comes up and over, side stretch. Good, walking the hands around to forward fold. Go ahead and come back up to a seat and twist over the left shoulder. And come back to face forward. Perfect. Now make your way onto your knees. So we're going to be sitting back in a hero pose, just sitting back on the heels. If that is uncomfortable on the ankles or the legs or anything, you can take a folded up blanket and place it right on top of the heels. So you're sitting on the blanket. That can relieve some strain on the knees and the ankles. You could also take the blanket underneath the feet. If the ankles need more support. So find what works for you today, sitting back in a hero pose. And when you're ready, start to drop the chin to the chest and slowly roll the spine. So we're going to roll all the way down to a child pose from here. So just really slowly rolling the spine down. When the hands meet the floor, start to walk the hands out along the mat. Slowly making your way into a child pose. Forehead coming toward the floor. Good. Now using the hands, press back up. Again, very slowly rolling the spine in the opposite direction. Coming back up to a seat. Hero pose. And again, tuck the chin, round to the spine, and roll all the way down to child. Now rolling back up to hero. Excellent. Now come into hands and knees, so tabletop position. Do a little bit of cat and cow, so drop the belly, look forward for a cow, and round the back, tuck the chin for cat. Inhaling cow, and exhaling cat. Inhale cow, and exhale cat. And come back to neutral spine. Press the heels back to child pose. Drop the head. And then we'll find a little bit of a flow. So from here we're going to press up to tabletop and go right into a cow, looking forward. And then round the spine, cat, and flow back to child pose. Good, and passing up, forward, arching the back, looking forward, cow, and round the spine, cat, and press all the way back to child pose. And bring the breath into it. So coming up into cow, inhale, and exhale, round the spine, back to child. Inhale, coming forward. And exhale, pressing back. And now notice this feeling of a circle. So continue following your breath, making this circle with your center. And 2 more rounds in your own time. Good, and pause and just hold in child pose and rest. And pressing up to tabletop. Take the left fingertips and start to walk them out. So we're going to be doing a little wrist stretch. Maybe walk the fingertips all the way back to face toward the body. Don't go so far that it hurts. So find a spot that feels comfortable for a good wrist stretch. Stretch on the front of the arm. Maybe bring a little bit of movement to it. So circle one way. And circle the other way. Good, and bring the fingertips back to face forward, and other hand, so bring the right fingertips to face back toward your body. Breathe, feel a stretch in the front of that forearm, and circle. And switch directions. Maybe one arm and wrist are a little bit tighter than the other one. Just be gentle. Honor that difference and how it shows up today. Good, and turn the fingertips back to face forward. Now take the left foot and left leg and straighten the left leg all the way out directly to the side. And then start to press the hips back like we're going to go into almost like a child pose. We don't have to go all the way down, but stretching the inside of that left leg. Maybe play around with what position feels comfortable. If you'd like to come all the way down into a child pose with an extended leg, that's fine. And pressing back up, back to tabletop and other side. So straightening the right leg and press the hips back, child pose. Good, and come back up to a tabletop. Now tuck the toes, lift the hips all the way up and back, downward facing dog, and pedal the feet a little bit, bending one knee straight and straightening the other, waking up the backs of the legs. Good, and come to stillness, downward dog. Good, bend the knees, tabletop, and press the hips back, child pose. And coming up to tabletop. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward dog. Now press the weight forward, coming into a plank, so nice straight line from the head all the way to the heels. And drop the knees, tabletop, and press the hips back, child pose. Now we'll turn this into kind of a cycle also. So pressing up, tuck the toes, downward dog. Bring the weight forward, plank. Drop the knees and press the hips back, child pose. So find this cycle again, coming up, tuck the toes, downward dog, plank, tabletop, and child. Downward dog, and plank, tabletop, and child pose. And see how you can bring the breath to it. Maybe inhaling on the downward dog, exhale, plank, inhale, tabletop, and exhale, child pose. One more round, downward dog, plank, tabletop, and child pose, and rest. And coming back up to tabletop, take the right leg and turn, leaving the knee down, turn the foot out to 90 degrees, straighten the left leg, and bring the left arm all the way up and over, gate pose. We can stay here if this is working for you, or we can come into a side plank for a little extra work. So bring the arm straight up toward the ceiling, and then see about straightening that bottom leg, bringing the right foot behind the left for stability. Nice strong core. Drop the left hand, drop the knees. And other side. So take the left foot out to the side, straighten the right leg, right arm comes all the way up and over. Gate pose. Stay here or bring the arm straight up toward the ceiling and straighten the left leg, side plank. Drop the right hand, drop the knees, and press back down, child pose, rest. Maybe roll out the wrists, open and close the hands. It's been a lot of work on the wrists, so to give them a minute to rest. And come back up to tabletop, tuck the toes, downward dog, and hold here for 3 rounds of breath. Now start to walk the feet forward to meet the hands, and pause here, forward fold, so hands can rest on the floor. You can grab opposite arms if that's more comfortable, just hanging with gravity. Nice stretch along the whole back, side body. Gonna bring a slight bend to the knees and slowly roll the spine all the way up to stand. Head is the last thing to come up so we don't get dizzy. Tadasana, mountain pose. Sun salutation, so arms swoop up, look up toward the ceiling, and forward fold, dropping the arms all the way back down to the toes. Bring the hands to the shins, look forward, flat back, and drop the hands, forward fold again. Stepping back with the right foot, pause in a lunge here. Plant the right hand, lift the left arm up, twist. Drop the left hand, step the left foot back, plank, and slowly lower knees, chest and chin, chaturanga. Press up, cobra, and come back down to the mat. Now press up through tabletop, tuck the toes, and all the way back to downward facing dog. Pressing the weight out of the wrist to press the weight into the heels. Really dig the fingertips into the ground. That will also bring some pressure off the wrists. Good. Stepping forward with the right foot, lunge. Plant the left hand, lift the right arm up, twist. Drop the right hand. Step the left foot forward to meet the right. Inhale, look forward, flat back, half lift. And exhale, forward fold. Now slowly roll the spine all the way up to stand, Tadasana. One more time, sun salutation, arms up overhead. And forward fold. Hands to shins, half lift, flat back, and forward fold. Stepping back with the right foot, plant the right hand, lift the left arm, twist. And drop the left hand, step back, plank, and lower knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga all the way down to the floor. Press up to cobra and come back down to the mat. Tuck the toes, press up through tabletop and all the way into downward facing dog. Bend the knees, press the torso back toward the thighs, so really stretching the back. Bringing the weight back toward the heels. Good, and step forward with the right foot. Plant the left hand, lift the right arm, twist. Now drop the right hand. Step forward with the left foot, half lift, flat back, and forward fold. And slowly roll all the way back up to stand, Tadasana. Sit back like you're sitting into a chair. Arms come forward in opposition. Good. Drop the hands, forward fold. Plant the hands, step back with both feet. Lower chaturanga. Press up to cobra. And then tuck the toes, press all the way up and back, downward facing dog. Lift the right leg up in the air, three-legged dog. Now bend the leg, opening the hips to the right. Straighten the leg again. And step forward between the hands. Plant the back foot to about 45 degrees and swoop the arms up. Warrior one. Open the arms to the side, front and back, warrior two. And come back to warrior one. Drop the hands to frame the front foot. Step back to plank. Lower chaturanga. Press up to cobra. And come back down to the mat. Tuck the toes. Press all the way back up, downward facing dog. Good, lift the left foot, three-legged dog. Now bend the left leg, opening the hips to the side. Straighten the leg again, and step through between the hands. Plant the back foot and lift the arms up, warrior one. Keep breathing. Nice strong core, nice strong legs. Good, open the arms front and back, warrior two. Then come back to warrior one. And drop the hands to frame the front foot. Step back and lower chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. Tuck the toes and come back to downward facing dog. And 5 rounds of breath here. Good, walk the feet forward to meet the hands. Bend the knees, sit back into chair. And straighten the legs, Tadasana, mountain pose. Good job. Take a step back, pretty wide step. We're gonna move right into warrior two again. So bending the front knee, arms come to face forward and back, gaze is over the front fingertips. And let's move with us. So we're going to inhale, bring the arms up overhead, straighten the front leg, and exhale, sink back into warrior two. Inhale up, and exhale down. Inhale up, and exhale down. One more inhale up, and exhale down, and hold. Drawing the shoulder blades together and down away from the ears. Bending the front leg towards 90 degrees. Good, now taking the back left hand, swoop it down, around, and forward, coming into a side angle. And come back to warrior two, and then reverse peaceful warrior. Gaze up toward the ceiling. Back to warrior two. Straighten the front leg. Reach forward and windmill the arms down to triangle Trikonasana. And bend the front knee. Come back to warrior two. Now straighten both legs. Turn the toes out and pause, star pose. Taking up space, being strong, being brave. Excellent. Turn the toes to the left And we'll do the other side, so warrior two. Gaze over the left fingertips. And moving with the breath, so inhale, arms come up, straighten the leg. And exhale, warrior two. Inhale up. And exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. One more, inhale up. And exhale down and hold. Now taking the right hand, swoop it down, around, and up into side angle. Come back to warrior two and reverse peaceful warrior. Come back to warrior two. Straighten the front leg, reach forward, and come down into triangle. And bend the front knee, come back to warrior two. Straighten that leg, turn both toes out. Now bend both knees, bend both elbows, goddess pose. Nice deep breaths in and out through the nose, feeling strong. Strong legs, strong arms, strong heart. Good, and straighten and walk the feet toward each other. Perfect. Move into a balance. So start to bring the weight into your left foot. If you're on a really squishy mat or a rug, it can be a little bit better balance if you move onto a hardwood floor or a hard surface. So bring the weight into the left foot. Bend the right knee, hug the knee into the chest. I can stay here or reach for the big toe. Reach for the wall if you need a little support. There we go. And again, we can stay here or start to straighten the leg. Maybe bringing the opposite arm out for balance. And pick a point of focus, so an unmoving point or drishti to look at. Keep breathing. Go ahead and bend the knee. Release the toe and release the leg to the floor. Good job. Circle the ankle, shake it out. Ready for the other side. So bring the weight into the right foot, bend the left knee, hug the knee into the chest. Reach for the big toe with peace fingers, just wrapping the first two fingers around the toe. And if you'd like to start to straighten the leg, go for it. You may notice balance is better on one side than the other today. It might change from day to day. Go and bend the knee. Pause with a deep bend for just a minute and then release the foot to the floor. Good job. Shake it out. All right, taking a little bit of a wide stance, not super wide, just about a little wider than hip width. I'm going to turn both toes to face the right and bring the hands to the hips and start to hinge forward, bowing the nose down toward the knee, pyramid. Now you can bring your hands to rest on the upper thigh, slight bend into the knee, just a micro bend to protect the joint. Or if you'd like to reach further down to the shin, just not right on the knee, either above or below, or all the way down onto the floor, bow that head forward. Good, bring the hands to the waist and slowly come up. Head is the last thing to come up. Don't want to get dizzy. Perfect, and now leaving the feet right where they are. Shift the weight into the right foot, allowing the left foot to start to come up off the mat behind you. Bring your arms out to airplane arms, just back and out a little bit for balance. And start to come down into warrior three. Nice long line all the way from the crown of the head to the left foot. Breathing, holding your core, holding this balance. Good, and come back up to stand. We'll switch feet, so swivel around to face the left or the back edge of the mat, feet facing the same direction. Hands to the hips and hinge forward, pyramid stretch, nose to knee. Bring the hands to the floor for support if you like. Allowing gravity to help stretch the back body. Good, hands to the hips and slowly start to come up to stand. Good, now shifting the weight into the left foot, allow the right foot to come up, arms to airplane, and warrior three. Finding that balance, finding a drishti. Maybe gaze at the floor, a few feet in front of the foot. And come back up to stand. Nice. Roll the ankle, shake that out. Now move into a wide leg. So really walk those feet about as wide as is comfortable. Turn the toes in, heels out. And start to hinge forward at the waist. Wide leg forward fold, allowing the feet to come down to the mat. If they're not reaching the mat, just you can rest on, again, on the upper thigh or on the shin. Dropping the crown of the head toward the floor. And breathing. Good, walk the hands over to the left foot. Nose dropping toward the knee. And walk the hands over to the right foot. Good, now keeping the hands right where they are. Turn both of the toes out and start to bend the right leg. Coming down into a little bit of a side squat, allowing the left toes to come up, stretching the inside of the left leg. Go ahead and walk the hands over to the left, switch sides. Good, now make your way to sit on the mat. So come to sit in a staff pose. Straighten the legs along the mat, sitting up nice and straight. If you need support, you can bring a folded blanket under your seat or under your knees. Get comfy here. And when you're ready, start to walk the hands down the legs, reaching for the shins, the ankles, maybe even grabbing the big toes with peace fingers, and drop the nose to the knees. And walking the hands up the legs, come back up to a seat. And bend the left leg, bringing the left foot to the inside of the right thigh. And walk the hands down the right leg, single leg, forward fold. And walk the hands up the leg, come back to a seat. Now take that same bent leg, raise the knee up, plant the foot on the mat, and we'll go into a twist. So go ahead and hug the knee into the chest and twist over the left shoulder if that's comfy. If that's too strong on the belly or the low back, you can just twist away from the knee. Same difference. So figure out which twist is right for you, this closed twist or the open twist. And as we twist, with each inhale, we imagine growing just a hair taller toward the ceiling. And with each exhale, relax into the twist a little bit deeper. And then come back to face forward. Straighten that left leg. Walk the hands down the legs and forward fold once again. Good, come back up to a seat and bend to the right leg, other side. Bring the sole of the foot to the inside of the left thigh. Single leg forward fold, nose to knee. And walk your hands back up to seat. Bring that right knee up, hug it into the chest, and twist. Once again, closed twist over the right shoulder or open twist over the left shoulder. Inhale to grow taller, and exhale to twist deeper. And come back to face forward. Bend the left leg, so bending both legs. Bring the feet together, butterfly. So soles of the feet come together. Hang on to those feet with your hands. Maybe use the elbows to press the knees open. Inhale, open the chest forward. And exhale, bow down, nose towards the toes. Good, and come back up to seat. Now, in your own time, make your way to lie back on the mat on your back. And bring the feet nice and close to the body. Soles of the feet on the floor, bent knees. Hands by your sides. Maybe walk the shoulder blades down and together a little bit for support. And we'll go into a bridge. So start to peel the tailbone off the mat, rolling the spine up, reaching the hip points up toward the ceiling. And roll the spine back down to the floor. And once again, peeling the tailbone up, rolling the spine all the way up to rest on the upper back or shoulder blades. Hip points reaching toward the ceiling. Chest reaches toward the chin, but then the chin reaches toward the ceiling, creating a little bit of space between the chin and the chest. And release, rolling the spine with control back down to the floor. Good job. Hugging the knees into the chest, rock back and forth, really set low back. Good, and now straighten the left leg, keep the right knee bent, and rock that knee back and forth, giving a little massage to the internal organs. This is really great for digestion. Increasing blood flow to the intestines and all the internal organs. Good, and switch legs. So straighten the right leg, bend the left, and rock the left leg back and forth. Good. Now bend both knees and take the right foot, cross it over the left knee, figure 4. You can stay here or start to raise the left leg up off the floor, reaching behind the knee. Figure 4 stretch. Noticing any areas that are particularly tight. Sending extra breath there. So on the inhale, imagine you're sending extra oxygen to that tight area. And on the exhale, allow it to release. Good, now drop the legs over to the left side. Open the arms to a T. Gaze over the right shoulder, twist. And come back up and switch legs. So figure 4, left leg crosses over right knee. Grab behind the right knee and stretch. Now drop the legs over to the right, arms to a T, and gaze over the left shoulder, twist. And come back up to center. Uncross the legs. Bring the arms by the sides. And we'll move into final rest, Shavasana. So we have options. You keep the knees bent if this is comfortable. Bring the feet about as wide as the mat. Knock the knees together. Constructive rest. If you like the butterfly hip opener, you can bring the feet together. Allow the knees to fall open. Do Shavasana, butterfly. Or just straighten the legs along the mat. Allowing the feet to fall to either side with gravity. Corpse pose, so arms by the sides, palms face up. Maybe again walk the shoulder blades down and back, opening up the shoulders, allowing the shoulders to drop away from the ears. Find stillness here. Allowing the feet to relax. If the legs are straight, allowing the feet to fall to either side with gravity. If the feet are resting on the mat, just allowing the muscles of the feet to relax. Be supported by the pose. Allowing the legs to relax. Be supported by the mat, by the floor. Relaxing the fingers and the hands and the arms. Relaxing the shoulders, the belly, the back. Relax the front of the shoulders, the back of the shoulders, the top of the shoulders, and the neck. Giving the neck and shoulders permission to release tension. Allow the floor to cradle the head. Relax the scalp, the muscles of the face, the jaw. Letting go of holding. Letting go of stress. Notice the breath as it comes in and out of the nose. Notice the breath filling up the lungs with each inhale, and the rib cage falling with each exhale. Notice the belly rise and fall with each breath. Bring attention to the air around you. Notice the temperature of the air. Notice if the air feels still or is moving. There's a breeze. Notice if the air feels dry or damp or in between. Notice if you can smell anything in the air around you. Now shift your attention to sounds you can hear. Notice the farthest away or quietest sound you can hear. Without identifying it, just listen. Now, what's the nearest or loudest sound you can hear? Again, don't name it, just listen. Now shifting attention to the sensation of lying on the floor. So notice the weight of the body on the floor. Notice the support, the strong floor beneath you. Notice the feel of the clothes against your skin. And sense your whole body lying in this space, in this room. Now notice any thoughts that come into your mind. Notice any thoughts of past or future, any memories or any plans. And watch those thoughts come and go. They can float by like puffy clouds and move on. No need to follow them, follow the train of thought. Just come back to the sensation of lying here, the breath entering the body, the feel of the room, the sounds you can hear. Allow those thoughts to be their own entity. They are allowed to come and go, but they are not part of us. Good. Now starting to deepen the breath. Deepen the inhale, then lengthen the exhale. And start to bring some movement to the fingers and the toes, wiggling the fingers and toes, rolling the ankles and the wrists. Starting to wake the body back up. And reach the arms all the way up overhead. Big stretch. And in your own time, as you're ready, start to move over to one side or the other. Pausing for just a moment. And then using the arms to press up to a seated position. Good. Resting the hands on the knees, or if you prefer, bring the palms together at heart center, Anjali Mudra. Take a nice deep inhale through the nose. And a nice deep exhale through the nose. Thank you so much for joining me today. Be well, everybody. Namaste.